Dr. Karen here, and I thought I'd do a little video on this. I've been receiving a lot of private messages, emails, tags on some videos that are, I think, trying to, get viral and share. And these are the folks that are really trying to wake us up from our sleep. What do I mean by that? Well, the average person, goes to work. Well, maybe not right now because it's a coronavirus pandemic, but they're stressed. They got kids, they got school, they got homework, they got, all this stuff going on. They're just trying to survive and maybe have a holiday and have, be happy and have fun and then back to the grind, right? So what happens is when we're in that space, we're not actually conscious most of the time. And I have to say, even as a spiritual teacher, a doctor of light medicine, it's something that I have to pay attention to and work on. And I don't mean work as in, it's really hard work and, it's really tough and, it's really hard to do. No, it's not. It's really easy. It's actually really easy to do, to be conscious. But we're not taught or trained to do this, and we didn't get kudos for doing this growing up. So we look to the outside for these rewards, right? Whether it be like a gold medal or, an A+ in school or, pat on the back or a raise from our boss, all these outside things. So we do things to get kudos. Now, one of the things that we can do is really be passionate about something and have a passionate response as well. And some of the videos that I've been PM'd, shared with me are kind of like that. What's really interesting, I've noticed, is I'm going to go on a little tangent, and I'll come back to this in a minute. There is a concerted effort to really try to get people to wake up. So there's a couple of different types of these wake up videos and calls to action, if you will. One I call kind of like the peaceful call to action, which is like, let's all meditate, and let's bring that frequency, let's bring that higher consciousness into the planet. The more people that do it, we know that there are scientifically documented shifts when people do that. Multiple ones, like, a city with huge decreases in crime when 1,000 people meditated, things like that. And even the Schumann resonance, jumping up a notch when on April 4th, 2020, there was a global meditation. So we do have an amazing impact on the frequency. Now, why is this important? Well, here's the thing, is our consciousness is infective in a way, in a positive way, around us. And what does higher consciousness give us? Well, it actually gives us choice, because in that space, we're able to, through the quantum reality, able to manifest a different reality, or at least a reality that we prefer rather than one we don't prefer. So if we're locked into that space of unconsciousness, where we're in fear, or we're just panicky or in terror or wondering where the next paycheck's coming or whatever in that space, it's okay to be in that space. We just don't want to be in that space keep going, right? So something happens, you get some news, it's not the news you want, you have a reaction. No big deal. It's the human thing. We're humans, we do that. What happens the next second, the next minute, the next 10 minutes, the next half an hour, the next hour, the next day? Are you losing sleep, over it? Is it freaking you out because of that? So that's where there can be a shift in our consciousness. When we can be like, whoa, I'm kind of taken over here by worry. What can I do about it? Then we can be in a different state of being. Because guess what? Your dominant resonance, your dominant state of being is what creates the future reality. So coming back to my point, so there are other videos and news articles and things like that are very what I call polarized. It's like us against them, anti-Bill Gates or anti-Dr. Fauci or whatever. Well, here's the thing. The more energy we put into anti-something or fighting something, we get more of that thing. So as spiritual teachers and leaders and wellness leaders, transformational leaders, we have to really be careful about the energy behind what we are teaching and espousing. It's one thing to say, love, gratitude, yeah, this is how we do it, right? And a totally other thing to say that, but come from an energy of me against them, fight, 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 we're winning this war, on terror and whatever. I'm being very dramatic here just to make a point. So this is what I call, and I just finished my divine design training last week with my students, and module 4 was all about discernment. So we taught them 2 different methods on how to discern what to watch, what to read, what to even put their time and energy into as far as news, based on what's best for them. In other words, I don't get to tell you what's best for you. Like, I don't get to tell you, oh, you should read this or you should read that, right? I can say, this is what I resonate with, or I really like this article, or, this is really interesting to me, that kind of thing. But I'm not here to say you have to do this, or you have to do that, or you have to, I don't even want to tell you have to meditate, or you have to be in love, or you have to be in gratitude, that kind of thing, because that is a very controlling energy. Can you feel the difference? Right? There's a difference between, get this, an invitation and the difference between you have to, right? It's completely different. I'm sure you can feel that difference, right? Coming through the video. So I would like to say to all of my transformational leader friends, colleagues, people I know, people that I don't know, that we have to hold the space and be responsible for our frequency, our energy, our resonance. So in other words, if we're, say, not a big fan of vaccines, for example, right? When there's an anti-vax win, so to speak, we can inside go, oh, that's really cool, assuming that we feel like that's for the highest and greatest good. However, celebrating someone else's defeat is not cool, because you're putting more energy into having an enemy, if you know what I mean. So you'll see some of the headlines in some of these YouTube videos and things like that, anti this or anti that, I don't really like. I mean, people make fun of it. I'm sure, all the anti-vaxxers, by the way, I guess they're called Karens. Who thought of that one? But anyway, James told me. So, and I'm like, no, don't be anti anything. You know what I mean? If you want to do something, be pro something, but don't be anti something, because you get more of that when you anti something. So watch the headlines. Okay, watch the headlines. If you feel it's a sensational headline, you'll feel it in here. There's almost a little bit of excitement, a little bit of a adrenaline rush. Okay, that is a little bit manipulative. Now, it's not to say I haven't used it to some extent, because I want to wake up people sometimes, right? Hello, anybody in there, McFly? However, just be careful around that. So I posted in my Light Warrior Network group, I posted a link. That's my private group. I posted a link, 2 news links. One is they're both talking about the Surgeon General, Dr. Adams, about this interview that he did. I think it's Breitbart. Is that the name of I can't remember exactly the name of this on Sirius Radio. So he did this interview, and he talked about how they are going to use supposedly real data to track COVID-19 and viruses. Now, of course, my public health issue with that is that you can't really track real data if you're just telling physicians to guess that maybe it's COVID-19 and you don't require them to test. Okay, this is what happened with H1N1. I talked to a colleague of mine, and I wasn't doing that kind of work anymore, and I said, so you guys testing, right? And she's like, no. And I was like, but you're diagnosing H1N1? Yeah, we're kind of figure if they have the constellation of disease, we'll just call it that. And I was like, wait a second. So this is like a big public health emergency in the United States, and you're not tracking the disease? Really? You're not testing? Really? She goes, yeah, that's what we're told. Right? So I see the same thing playing out here. So despite the part where Dr. Adams was like, we're using real data now and not the models, right? The predictive models, which predicted millions of people dying, right? So that was the interview. And, but it was interesting because on Breitbart, it basically, on the written thing, it just said, kind of what he said, right? Yeah, certain countries do this part better than others, and and it was very bland, so the title was, US to use real data now to track coronavirus. Like really bland headline, right? So in another article by a journalist, if you will, who had, I'm assuming, listened to the radio show, put his own spin on it, and basically titled it, Surgeon General dumps Gates and WHO models. And then throughout the article, using all these sensationalistic words, dumping and the blah, blah, blah vaccine. And, it was really opinionated. And I thought, well, this is really interesting because I read that article first and I thought, whoa, I felt like, ooh, somebody's winning this war. Like that's the feeling that I was getting. And then I thought, you know what, I better listen to the original interview. So I listened to the interview. I'm like, I didn't get that opinion at all listening to the interview. It's very bland. It was like, yeah, we're going to use real data now. Right? And he's like, yes, hopefully we'll be looking for a vaccine, right? And he's still a conventionally medical trained doctor, right? So he's going to say stuff like that. And I'm like, where did this journalist get all these sensationalized things from it? We're winning. Like, it was like, we're winning this war. They're not going to use Gates or a WHO model anymore. Yeah. And unfortunately, one of my colleagues was like on YouTube immediately like, oh my God, this is awesome. This is amazing news. Check it out. Right. And I was like, dude, did you listen to the actual radio show? It's not that sensationalistic, right? Like, it's not that I'm not like saying, well, this is better. Yeah, it's better than using predictive models, but I kind of doubt they're even using real data. So I was feeling neutral after that. So I think that one has to use discernment and just feel the energy. Many of you are highly sensitive people. Most people are getting more and more empathy skills. So we have to feel into it. Sometimes if you're really good with your intuition, you don't even have to listen or even read the headline in order to already know whether or not you should be listening to it. Yeah, that's what we were teaching in the Divine Design training, that degree of intuition. Now, it takes practice, of course. And of course, there's also Topican healing systems. We can use light scoring, love scoring, truth scoring, and all these kinds of things you can use to just see. Because look, if people are sending me 50 links a day, I'm already super, super busy, right? So I have to discern what's my highest and greatest good to watch, when, and whether or not I should share it, right? So is it perfect system? No, it's not. Sometimes I'm just like, share, right? But now I'm getting a little bit better at it because I think we do have to be more discerning, especially for wellness leaders, of what we share and not just automatically knee-jerk, something because there's a little bit of an addictive tendency there. Like we just want that shot of adrenaline and we can't say we're absolutely immune to it. Hey, I love roller coasters. What can I say? I love Disney rides, like there's a little bit of adrenaline there. However, when it comes to our news, when it comes to sharing things related to COVID-19 and things like that, we do have to be responsible and really be careful about our energy, especially as wellness leaders. It's one thing to say out of your mouth, let's do love, let's do gratitude, and then and then at the same breath use sensationalistic headlines and whatever videos or whatever to get people polarized, that for and against, which I am not a fan of. So I'm just going to be honest, I'm not a fan of that, because in my mind, as a light medicine teacher, as a spiritual medicine teacher, we all come from the same place. We all come from the same creator, if you will, or source, whether you be a demon or an angel or black, white, purple, whatever person you are, alien, non-human, it doesn't really matter. We're having a human experience. Well, if you're alien watching me, then you're having an alien experience. But anyway, so you're having this embodied experience, right? And so it's more like curiosity and interesting. How is this going to play out? How is my consciousness affecting it? And yeah, don't you, forget that your consciousness does make a difference. So are you beaming? Are you resonating that state of love? Are you resonating that? So there's one thing to say, be gratitude or be grateful, whatever, but it's another thing to resonate it, because when you're resonating, you're in a state of peace. If you're resonating it truly, you're not for and against. If you're resonating it truly, you see it from the big picture. They're all playing this game. And it's like this creation. We're like sculpting our future reality. And the best way to be the sculptor is to be in that state of being, in that state of your home resonance, in that state of inner peace. Because the characters that we're talking about, whether it be Bill Gates, Dr. Fauci, the WHO, CDC, whatever, they're all temporary things. What do you want to create in your life? So that's the thing. What do you want to create? And if you're in that place where you're us against them, in my experience, it's not the best energy to be in to manifest what you really want. And I desire for you to be in that place of peace naturally. Every minute of every day, if possible. I mean, I have to work at it. Again, it's not hard. I just do my own, I do stillness through observing internal movement. That's my way of doing it, where I just observe the vibration inside my body. My mind gets so busy following the vibration in my body. I'm just so fully present when I'm doing it that my mind just kind of shuts off. And any negative emotion that I was feeling, it tends to diminish as well. So I'm definitely not perfect. I need to work on myself. I'm still working on discernment. But I did want to share with you my perspective in case that does help you. And if it does, and you feel resonating with that, go ahead and share this video. So I just want to check in to say hi to everybody. Hey, Elizabeth, Yolanda, Pippin, Kathleen, Mary, Diane, Carrie, Dorte, Randy, Ellis, Lena, Rhonda, Rosie, Sonia, Rosemary, Tanya, Charlene, Caitlin, Heather, Melisha, Sunwolf, Alexandra, Giovanna. Yeah, so great for you to be with me today. Thank you so much. And, I think I'm going to add this to my YouTube channel where I have a whole list, a little playlist called The Coronavirus, How to Stay Happy, Healthy, and Harmonious. So this is going to be included in that playlist in case you were looking for it later. Okay, guys, have a great rest of your evening. Love y'all. Bye.